All right, good morning, traders. Good morning, good morning. You should, whoops, almost. You should be able to hear my voice, see my screen, talk to me via chat, talk to each other via chat. Good morning, Steve C. Good to see you. You can see in here. Good to go. Love it. Good morning, LJ Go. Good morning, Victor. Good to see you. Hi, Sandy. Good morning, Don. Good morning, Kent. Good morning, Doug. Good to see you. Love the energy. Great Sunday energy. Easy to get on, Melody said. Excellent. 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 Good morning, John. Love the energy. Oh, should be an interesting day today. Good morning, Greg. I'm super curious. I find there's times where I'm like, oh, I'm anxious to see what the market posture is going to be. Let's go. We've got an amazing group here. So let's just dive in. Officially, not going to be good. Officially, good morning. Welcome to the Options Income Launchpad Sunday Market Insights. My name is Scott, and I will be your host. Always please remember that what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Um, what we provide is not intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers or advisors and don't give personalized investment advice. Decisions made based on any information you get from us or the platform should be taken at your own risk, yada, 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 and yada. Today, market posture. We'll see. I find myself extra curious. Like I have a pretty good sense, but I feel like the model has been pretty consistent. The AI Oracle has been pretty consistent with its current reasoning on the market. And so I'm curious what it's going to say. We'll look at the economic calendar. It's the first week of the month, so it is employment based. But weirdly, I couldn't see the ADP report, which is typically the Wednesday of the first week of the month. And that is the 1st of April. So it wasn't like it was like, oh, but that one happened to fall on March 31st. And so it's anyway, odd. Don and Steven both posted their scores. I love it. I always ask, I know there's some people who like to do their score before and then come in and then sort of, weigh in and hear how everyone else does it. I like it to be real time analysis for me. Not that I've analyzed it and come back in. I like to do it together. Um, Talk about it and then say, okay, yeah. That makes it more of a group score than just my score. So, anyways, okay. We will not sector search. I need to go through all my slides and update them. There's just some outdated stuff. We do our searching on Tuesday evenings, usually based on conclusions we reach from this session. So we really don't have time. We do watch list maintenance, which basically here means Sundays is when we get rid of it. We're like, yeah, bounce that, get rid of that, get rid of that. If it's not going to be something we're trading, if it no longer, right, then we'll get rid of it and then we'll replace it on Tuesdays with new stuff. And that's kind of our watch list maintenance routine. We will create an early week opportunity list. We're maintaining 2 right now, and I will publish, depending on how it looks, our bearish list. And we may the thing about keeping a bearish list is when we ran our bearish search, It's a very similar search to our bullish search, only reversed, right? As far as the technicals, we look for things that are over $10 a share, things that are 2 million shares or more, things that have options. And then we start to say, but instead of being above its 50 and it's 200, we want it below the 50, but still above the 200 or below both. In addition to that, I put on a nice little trick that exists in that Thinkorswim search where we get to play with recent performance. We can say, well, how do I want it to have been in the last day or week or month or quarter or year? And so I can go in and I can say, I want something that's down for the month, but up for the week. And as soon as I say up for the week, that means that every week I run it, it will bring up different stuff. It's not like it'll constantly be pulling new things. So when we grabbed that list that we grabbed last Tuesday, we found a trade from it. Great. But I'm not going to just sit and manage. I mean, I'll keep an eye on those and then I'll run it again and see are there more and which ones look good. We're just going to kind of grab and just sort of have a little stable of ones that we think this is where there's negative momentum. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Trading plan section of the week. Oh, wait. I actually forgot where we are right now. Are we on 8 or 1? We're on 8, right? Or are we on 1? I have not been. I'm gonna be honest. I have not participated in this round. Oh, this last week was 8 improvement trading goals. So we are finished with the first full loop of the year. We spent the first 4 weeks or so on prioritization. So picking sections of your plan after. So, okay. Step 1, rate each section of the 8. And then on a scale from 1 to 10, and then identify obviously the lowest 3, and then spend some time particularly just working on those. Then we decided let's get back on the loop. We finished the first loop this week. So if you're new in the last month, perfect opportunity. I'm getting on the train. What is the train? We are going to spend the next 8 weeks, 1 section per week, working on our trading plans. 1 hour in the week. That's what I ask for. 1 hour. It's best to do it all in 1 section. If necessary, cut it in half, 2 half-hour sessions where you're not looking at things or things. You just are specifically focused on your trading plan. 1 hour. 1 hour a week for the next 8 weeks. At the end of that, you'll have this great starting point. If you already have your trading plan gone through, spend a loop with us and polish yours. It's just now you're just continuing to refine it. It's a living document that is representative of you and your progress and journey as a trader. Okay, let's go. Yes, Steve C, that's a great point. When we're trading less, that's exactly right when we should do this, because thank you again for the point, because it allows us to reflect real time as we're ooh, what have I been doing? What's been helpful or hurtful? And then you're looking at your trading plan and you're thinking, man, this rule here really saved my bacon. And so, what does that mean we're going to do? We're going to emphasize that rule. Maybe we look at it and say, hey, it did we need to add something else with it, or and then we're thinking about times where we're like, man, I really found myself in a bad place here. And you look at what happened and what you did, right? And you think to yourself, what would have helped me out in this situation? And is that a one-time thing, or is that a, hey, you know what, that's really good all the time? So we don't want to be reactive and just like, I need a rule for this, I need a rule for this every time something happens. But we want to be reflective of like, hey, is there a way that I could have mitigated that, prevented that, capitalized on that better if I had rules that would have facilitated so. Okay. All right. Let's get to our posture now. We did a little soap boxing. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Um, uh, 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 Nope. What day is today? 03, 03, 29, 26. Oh, I can't get the format of that. Okay. All my date formats need to be reconciled. I see that. Okay. Let's get going. I have the Oracle is up here. Did I not put 329? What did I put? 329. 329.26. It like tried to make it March of 29. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know what happened. Long-term analysis. Let's get going. Oh, it'll be interesting. I've had a few. Has anyone else had this? I've had a few chats on my, like, that are just like long ones that are ongoing, that have been like, you've reached the end of the chat length. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was thinking maybe what would happen is I would when that happens, I don't know what I'll do about that, because it's like it won't let you do it. I think I'll like copy. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I've got to think of a way to like just like start a new one by taking the last. I'll have to start asking like how close it is or what. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I have a premium subscription. um. Okay. I need a keyboard. Okay. This week's chart for analysis. And this is 03/26/29. Nope. 03/29/26. I was just messing with you guys. Oh, wait, what just happened? Performance problem was detected. Nope, we're okay. All right. Let's go to the weekly chart. Yeah, I feel like, what did I say on Friday? I feel like on Friday I said I'm going to leave it alone because it was only from here to here. But I feel like this is a kind of an acceleration. I'm dropping mine. Yeah, Don, I would love to. You can send me a message via Circle. You can send me an email. Scott B at cviewlg.com. You can send me an email there. Either one of those things. I'd love to hear. I'm obviously obsessed AI obsessed. I love the technology. I'm gonna actually lower my score to a 0.75 because it did seem to accelerate to the downside. I definitely want to hear from the group. That's what I'm leaning towards. Um, yes, it's intact, but it's like to what point, you know? Um, long term is a 0.5. I don't know why this is stalling on me. So I'm gonna go. Oh no, let's see. I was a 0.75. Yeah. Maybe I'll leave. Now I'm hesitating. It definitely didn't feel like a one. Steve says he's saying at 0.75. Don's a 0.5. Stephen D's a 0.25. Oh, press. First and foremost, it's great to see you, my friend. And due to the fact that press is here and is a 0.5, and that's what I will be if I lower it a quarter, which is what I said. I'm lowering it a quarter. Absolutely. 0.5. It does seem right. We have dropped 9%. So we're almost the NASDAQ is corrective, meaning it's 10% plus. So we're very close to full corrective posturing here, which you can see in our I feel like we saw it coming. Dow is, NASDAQ is. Yeah. Press, how you been? Life treating you all right? Staying busy? Okay, let's see what the model says. Oh, I didn't get to. It was like frozen on me for some reason. Here we go. Ready, go. Good to hear. All right, let's see. Let's see what we think. Downgrade to a 0.75. Okay, that makes sense. I downgraded from a 0.75 to a 0.5. It's downgrading to a 0.75. Boom. Fair enough. Onward and upward. Let's go. Let's go. Short term analysis. Let's see. This week's chart for analysis. Analysis. 03 26 29 27. I'll get the date right by the end of the day for sure, if not by tomorrow. Let's get this to 6-month daily. My short term, oh, it's definitely, of course, it's accelerating to the downside. Jeez. Of course it is. Look at it. That is Stephen D. I'm going to say that your positive score is optimistic. Let's see here. This week's chart. I was a let's see the I think I was actually minus 0.25 and the Oracle was minus 0.5. I think it was more than me, but I am moving to a minus 0.2 or a minus 0.5 because it is accelerated, and I will be shocked if the short-term score for the Oracle does not deteriorate further. Where's everybody else here? Let's see. Sorry. Stephen, minus 0.25. Minus 0.25. A little glare is coming in from my heavy sunlight. Minus 0.5 for Don, minus 0.5 for Steve, minus 0.25 for Steven. Do we need a new red line? Ooh, interesting question. Minus, oh gosh, look at that. Look at the Oracle getting nasty. -1. The downside trend is now firmly established, broke below the 200-day, accelerated lower with expanding bearish candles, confirming a shift from corrective to active downtrend. No stabilization, no evidence of any stabilization or buyer support. Okay. I don't love how often it's doing these half a points. It's not what we talked about. And whoops. So I only got to a minus 0.5 and it's like boom. Did anyone else even get close to that? No one was below minus 0.5, were you? All right. I'm going to leave it because I think it's important for us to at times see and understand, why not to, maybe it's right. Maybe it needed to um, accelerate to that magnitude. Hmm? Okay. Let's go to volume. -1. Goodness gracious, Oracle. You're getting bearish quickly. Volume analysis. Volume analysis. This week's chart for analysis. 03, 29, 26. Boom, got it. Nope, 29. I said 39. 29, 26. And I misspelled analysis. That's okay. Analysis. That's all right. My model's smart enough to handle a misspelled word. Come on. 1 month daily. I have too much time again. Anything more than 7 on a 1 month, it like almost feels like you half your chart is space. Okay. Where did we finish? Not enough. Barely not enough. What am I looking at here? I'm going to take the volume here divided by the average here on this day. So I'm taking 103, 649, 369 divided by 99, 290, 736. What does it need to be for us to score a gray box and then put an obvious S? It needs to be 1.05. And we are at 1.04389. 768. No, I'm just kidding. 1.04. It had 4%. It was above average, but it wasn't enough above average to trigger. It's not a huge requirement. You'll hear people like, oh, volume needs to be 50% above. I'm like, 50%? You never have a above average volume day if that's what you're looking for. We have one of them back here. Maybe this one was above 50%. It was. The rest of them, no. This one was maybe close. It was close, but it wasn't. I just need to see conviction, 5% or more, and I'm like, there it is, and that's our first metric, and it didn't hit that one. So here, what's interesting is last week, even though it really accelerated on us, it didn't do it with volume. We actually had one volume that was above average, and it was actually a buy day, even though it was red. I feel like I have to like put a little extra flavor with this context than just what I normally do. Did I take a picture of it? I don't know if I did. Let's see if I did. No, that's the wrong thing. Uh, no, that's the old one. Okay. Uh, do 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 do. Get that picture. Is that is that cheating? So far, we've just been here's the chart and here's the date. But I feel like I'm gonna have to talk to it after if I don't talk to it before. Please note in the most recent week, there was only one above average volume day, and despite a red candle, it was assigned to the buyers because it was a positive day more than 0.5%. Okay. Um is that a reasonable thing to just be like, I mean, would it see that and know that anyways? I don't know. I'm gonna discount this. And this is an interesting one because this is a white sell back here. Sell, sell, buy, sell, sell. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna send it. Let's see what it says. That's the best I'm gonna do. For me, I'm gonna still keep these. I'm gonna discount this one because it's only, it's pretty stale. One, two, three, four, five, and then I've got one, two, and a tie. Five, two, one. Still feels like a minus 0.5 to me. Oh, I was a minus 0.75. Well, okay. That does feel like a minus 0.5. Does that does that feel right? Does that look right? What's everyone doing with this one? So curious. The last five, not the whole week. I'm not going to throw the whole week out. I'm really only looking at the last 2 days. I'm not going to discount all three of these. That's yeah, no, because and the reason I'm saying that, Stephen, like I'm definitely wary of stale. So I'll give this, I'll give this one a stale, but this is a cluster. And at the end of this cluster, we came out lower. So I'm that's still an important cluster. Then we had this cluster. So next week, this one will drop off completely. These will be the last 2 days, and I'm still going to count probably this cluster because it was a cluster. And then we'll have this. But if this all drops off, then we'll end up having a. If you add all of this together, then we'll be down to a minus 0.25. And here we'd actually that might actually even drop towards anyway. So it's organically changing. But it is, I mean, look, this is still here's our slope. Would it be nice if the sellers stopped and make it a lot easier for buyers to make a run at this? Yes. So, I feel like it's good enough. Whoops. That it Yeah, we gained a quarter of a point back. That's good, right? Steven, what was your score out of curiosity? Let's get what the Oracle said. Minus. Can't tell if that's a minus. It is a minus. It's got a glare. Minus 0.25. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty close. So minus 0.5. This week produced one qualifying above average volume day. Despite the red candle, it is correctly classified as buyer control based on the positive return threshold. This introduces a counter signal. However, because the broader sequence still contains multiple stacked seller expansion weeks, this buyer signal acts as a partial offset rather than a full reversal. Agreed. Upgrading. Okay. Marks the first meaningful response buyers in the recent downtrend. I agree with all of that. Well said, sir or madam. Major market analysis. Okay, so we both raised our score. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's keep going. Good pace today. We are now heading into. I keep hitting the wrong window. Sorry, guys. We are now heading into major market analysis. This is this week's. Any questions, comments, or concerns as we hit the halfway part? Is it as bad as you thought? Worse? Better? This week's charts for analysis. 03 29 26. Of course, I get the date right. What do we have here? We have the Dow, the bottom, S&P. We have technology rushing down as well. Who's holding up the best on this? Small caps. Now, I am leery of small caps as like, oh, we're anchoring to small caps. Maybe, I guess. But so far, as we come into this, I'm a 0. And the Oracle is a minus 0.5. I don't think, is anyone a remnant bull? Does anyone have a positive score here still? Stephen D might be a 0.75 or a 0.25, minus 0.25. Okay, fair. I know you held on to some of the small caps. Oh, you are a 0.25 positive. Okay. Sandy's a 0. All right. Yeah, this was like the last bastion of hope for a little while there, other than our long-term trend, which is also continuing to deteriorate. Let's get a picture of this. Actually, hold on. Not yet. I need to move this out of the way, and now I can get it. Okay, chart number 1. And for us, that chart was holding up okay, right? I mean, it's better to see small caps than anything else up there other than technology. Here you can see technology has found its way to the very bottom. Small cap still trying to hold on to and in fact, in this chart, they're the only ones who are still positive, you'll notice. So for the last basically 6 months, small caps are flat, up about 2%. Everything else has now dipped into negative territory. Let me take this over here, picture number 2. And let's go down to 66 days. I mean, it is still on top. It is still on top, but everything is now negative, and it's like, yeah, we got it. I'm gonna take mine down. It's not really, it's not really defensively. I mean, it is because this is at the bottom. Yeah, I think it's a minus 0.25. That makes sense to me. Minus 0.25 is what I'm gonna score it. Let's take a picture of it. We'll put this in, and then just to see what's coming down the pike. 22 days. I will always score 0.25 as long as the 200-day has the Nasdaq and Russell leading. Okay. Okay. 22 days, you can see it's almost parity at the bottom, like where everything's at the same spot. The Russell and the Dow dropped earlier and then slowed down. The Nasdaq and the S&P have had a steady and then accelerated down right at the end. Very interesting to me. It's kind of broad based. I don't think I would drop mine more than a 0.25 without it starting to show like a more of a Dow on top posture. So I get it. I just don't see, right, the fact that everything on this is negative is what for me has pulled it into a negative score, right? I can't score it slightly bullishly if all four are down 8% in the last month. That is my line. A sign of hope that the bleeding is stopping. Yeah, I feel like volume was that for me. Quarter point, best we can ask for. Let me go put my score. Oh, I did mine already. Minus 0.5, no change. Minus 0.5, no change for the Oracle. The 66 continues to show persistent defensive leadership. That's actually wrong. Um, let me go back. So we only stop sometimes when we have a misstatement of fact. And in that analysis, this is actually this may or may not impact your score, but you had an incorrect assessment of the facts for the 66-day. The small caps, the Russell, was leading on that time frame, not lagging, as you said in your analysis. And let's give it a closer look. Bing. And go. It's thinking about it. It seems, yeah. See, this is where I get a okay. Now I get a little nervous because it's um a half a point difference. I appreciate you willing to rescore, but I fear an overcorrection. You are saying this week's charts have improved enough to raise the score. 0.5. Okay, that's the last thing I'll say. It's, you can see it's like when it veers, it can be a little bit interesting in like, oh well, yeah, no, yeah, it's 100% the other way, and you're like, wait, slow down. Um, and here we're getting the confirmation of that. This week did not improve enough to justify a 0.5. This is where I think maybe he rescored it. It rescored it too much. Now it's back to unchanged. The trend is downward. It's fragile being lost. No secondary support. Blah blah. Okay. This I'm fine with this, and I'm very like uh against trying to have anything else. Will not get off the, yeah, right. It may need a full like, hey, we really want to have smoother scoring if we can. I don't know. I said it was doing better, and then today it was a little off on that. I'll minus 0.5. That's fine. Let's go sector rotation. Hey Vladimir, good to see you. Glad you can make it. Oh, I'll move this anyways. We'll need this in a second. Not yet. Ooh, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. That VIX. Let's go here. What do we see? Obviously, energy is dominating everything. Everything else drops. Utilities is a little in that in the conversation. Industrials dropping. Materials is sitting around. Technology down. Yeah, it's clearly a market that is dominated by the news of the conflict in the Middle East, and that's where most of the pressure is moved into the uh, oil sector, energy sector. Okay, sector rotation analysis. This week's charts for analysis. 03, 29, 26, first chart. Let's go back. 133. More of the same. We've got industrials, materials, utilities, all kind of in this area. Healthcare's fallen out. Staples is still above everything like this, the averages, but down. All our core growth segments, technology, communication services, discretionary, financials, all did I take a picture of this one? Nope. Take a picture. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. And ready to go. And 66 days. Take a picture. Put it in. And what do we see here? More of the same. Energy on the top, utilities in the mix, materials in the mix, staples, and our lone growth sector continuing to fall, not down into the dregs with all the rest of them, but yeah, not great either. Okay, let's drop it to 22. I think it's just going to be the same. I don't see like worse. It's just more of the same for me. Let's drop that and you go ahead and get started and we'll come back and finish our conversation here. Yeah, I mean, it's not worse, but I don't see anything that looks like it's improved. I'm going to stay at a minus 0.75. Futures are down 1.75 to 2%. Oh, negative. Yeah, I mean it. It's not great, right? I guess I could make sure that this comes over and have a running total because certainly things are getting worse. Whoa, what just happened? That was weird, right? I just deleted everything. Copy, paste. There we go. Okay. Sector rotation for the Oracle. No change as well. Minus 0.75. Technology, financials, discretionary, lower tier, trending down, elevated. Yeah. I think this is obviously we know why energy. We don't think energy is moving forward because it's defensive. Energy's moved forward because there's conflict in the Middle East. That's the bottom line with that. So I'm good with that. Also a minus 0.75. So I think I'm going to end up at minus 2.25, and I think the Oracle could end up at minus 2.75, minus 2.5, minus 2.5. We'll see. Sorry, Press, that I missed your question. Let me. Have I seen the market sell off on traditional risk off assets like precious metals and bonds and equities like it has recently? God, I'm trying to think back to previous markets, and I haven't taken time to go like kind of look into the different levers of because it's different. Like we have Bitcoin involved. We have so not that I can think of offhand. That's a but precious metals had such a weird, huge spike up that we all knew was unsustainable. So yeah, it's it's always interesting because there's a great book called Intermarket Analysis by John Murphy. He's a great technical analysis author. Technical analysis of the financial markets is like the book you should have if you ever are like looking to read about patterns or indicators, things like that. And so he has a book about intermarket analysis, which is like, what is the relationship we tend to expect, keywords, between commodities, bonds, interest rates, and varied asset classes. But it basically, when we say tend, that's in regular conditions, but when we hit extreme conditions, we can see things where it's like everything sells or everything, right? And it's just like, whoa, this doesn't make sense. Something's got to give, and it will eventually, but in the real time, You find yourself like, this is odd. Have we ever seen our debt this high either? I mean, no, but last year we had never seen it that high. And the year before we had never seen it that high, right? And so on and so on. And so there's certainly acclamation to that, but I mean, we all agree it's untenable, but no one does anything about it. So, okay, let's go analyze the VIX and then let's go through our watch list and call it a day. Let's get the VIX. Let's get a picture. Nope, I don't want the drop down in there. Sorry. Let's get a picture of the VIX. And we'll put it in this week's chart for analysis. 03, 29, 26. Ready, go. And yeah, it's a higher high. It's got to get worse. Last week we had a higher low. We wondered if it could try to put in a lower high, but it could not. Boom, boom. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we were here basically. 2, 3, 4, 5. If it didn't give us that last spike, I would actually probably have kept my score the same. Friday is really what kicked this thing above. So I'm moving mine to a minus 0.75, like many of you seem to also. Oh, no, not many. Stephen and Don both are at minus 0.5s. And Steve C and I are minus 0.75s. Oh, goodness. Minus 2.25. That is pretty gnarly. This might be tied for the lowest we've seen in a long ever. Let's see. In April, that's just right now. We have to go back a year. Here we got to a minus 2.75. And then you'll see what happened. Minus 2.5, minus 2.5, 1.75. And then like by this point, you're like, okay, that's substantially better. So tariff, yep, that's exactly what it was. Tariff reveal party day. We had our own little celebration here. Prior to that, oh God, those were good times when we hit the sevens. Then it dropped off from there, but it stayed okay for a little while, right? Before that, it was back. That was a good time. There. Where is it? We dropped to a barely hit negative. This was October of 23. Yeah, October of 23. SPY. Sorry, I'm going to go just a little over making the watch list, but that's the last thing. Don't forget October of 23. Back here. Back here, we barely got to negative, and then this thing turned around. And it was interesting because this was like slow, do, 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 versus like, ah. This feels more in the category, right? When you look at it and you're like, there's 3 spots where our posture turned to negatives. Boom, boom, and now. And what is the rest of the time? There's some pretty great, there's some good trading conditions in there. We've had some sevens where we're like just like boom, 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 looking at trades. Anyway, okay, let's go. We'll get there again. We'll be there soon. I feel it. It's coming. No. Okay. I did not finish the Oracle. I thought I sent it. Full send. Where's hell for sure, right? It's like, this is not like grab someone out of Venezuela, man. This is a big country of a lot of people. Hard to get in and out of something like that. 0329. That's the concern, right? Prior score. No. What's the prior score? Yeah, minus 0.5. Okay. Boom. Minus 2.5. The Oracle's minus 2.5. Let's read what it said though. And then let's go to our watch list. And let's build our short list. Are there, if there's even a single bullish trade? The hard thing is that like at this point, remember what we've talked about: walk upstairs, fall out windows. This thing just fell. We need to be in those bearish trades as it's falling, not like, oh, can we get on Monday? If the futures hold in that area of down -2, no, you're going to be too late. It's already dropped. That's what's hard. Can we trade downsides? Yes. Is it harder to trade downsides than upsides? Of course it is. It's got to be. It's so important. It drives me insane when I hear traders that are like, "Oh, I'm a trader. I can trade anytime, up, down, sideways." Blah. This is like, it's such a weird brag. I can empirically show any time I make more money when I'm in a bullish market. When you go look at that posture and you see 5s and 6s and 7s, I'm going to have as much risk as I can tolerate during that. Let's smash some gains. And when it changes, I'm going to dial it back and be like, yeah, can I? I can, and I need to in order to stay engaged, I think, to understand market conditions. I think it's hard to evaluate if you're not actually skin in the game. But how much skin? That's the question. Yeah, not a lot for me. Okay. There's the last soapbox. Let's go to the watch list and rattle through these and call it a day. We all gotta go eat some breakfast or something. Is everyone eating? Just me? Alcoa. I'm gonna rattle through pretty quickly. It's a lot more dicey market. You can see it starts to roll around and turns over. Archer Daniels still looks pretty good. Actually, I'll put Archer Daniels on the list. Made a move up. If it pulls back and has a small pullback, why not? Applied Materials. It made a move. It didn't get back up to the new high, let alone the old high. And now it's rolling over. So that's, I'm going to say no there. AMKR. I kind of actually don't mind AMKR. I'm putting it on. If this can hold in this area between the 50 and the 100, Amazon, no. APH, no. ASX, no. AXP, almost feels like that one could have been on Friday an entry to a downside trade on financials. I know people have started looking at financials for the downside. BAC coming down. Well, I'll tell you what. Citi. I was starting to like these. They had a little early sniff of some momentum, and then big sell-off day. We'll see if they can stabilize, if they just get right back into where they were. Caterpillar, but no good. Fertilizer, that was CF. We were actually looking for that one last week. Gap down, finished here, then rallied, and then it did this. And you're thinking, was this tradable? No, no, not for me. I'm not trying for that. Coherent tried, failed a little. Still kind of above the uh 50, but I don't know. Cisco. I'm gonna put Cisco on my list. I'm starting to look for some of these that's like, hey, this thing just popped up to a new high. If it can stabilize in here, it's got some momentum. Delta trying. It's got earnings soon, but we might have time. I'm gonna put earnings. I'm gonna put Delta on my list. I'm gonna put Dow Chemical on my list. Ford, no. GE, no. Gold, no. General Motors, no. Google, no. Goldman, it's not enough. I need to see what happens with these guys. Maybe one of them holds up. I'm not going to put them on the list, but I will be open to them. Home Depot, no. HL, down. IBM, Intel, sideways. IWM, down. Lumentum is bullish. I'm just never going to put on the list. This is not for the faint of heart. LRCX. Oh my God. Are you guys seeing this live connection with Press and Kent? I want to come out to Santa Rosa and we'll all go get a beer. That is an absolute remarkable coincidence. Amazing. I mean, we all know this is also a best friends club. So, anyways, congratulations, you two. MasterCard down. It's a no. Oh God, look at Meta just getting just obliterated. Obliterated. Monster, Morgan. Our list is small of any kind of candidates. I thought Micron could try to hold on. It's giving it all back. And it's actually at a new low here. So I'd say be careful with that one. Netflix, no on Nvidia, no on Palantir. The Qs are down to new lows. Rocket Lab got smashed. Ross Stores actually is holding up. And the options were like, yeah, not great, but okay. I'm gonna put it on. Let's see. RTX, silver. SNDK is a yes for me. It might be one that can still try to make a move. STX also. One of these digital storages could give us something. Cisco Foods. I'm actually, even though it is in the staples, this thing's having some issues, and I would actually consider a downside on this. TJX, no. Tesla, no. Taiwan, no. No. Vike, no. VOD, no. WDC, yes. Walmart, no. Okay. Our list has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 stocks. 9 stocks that if the market can stabilize and turn, these are leaders that should have a good chance to make the best move forward. Because, like Press just said, hey, wouldn't it be great if we got a V bottom out of the minus 2.5 like we did last time when it was about a year ago, in fact, around tariff reveal. And when adjustments were made, the V formed. So if there is a possibility for an exit strategy, I'm less inclined to think so, a little bit pessimistically, but I'm hopeful that would be a create that to me is a catalyst. If the war were to like dial out and be like, hey, you know what, the agreement's reached, this thing will be, and yeah, we'll see. But let's anyway. I'm not going to create a bearish watch list because we're going to just kind of keep an eye on it real time from day to day. Make sure that you are working on section 1 of your trading plan, polishing or at least defining if it's your first time through. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, ready to go. I think we're in a good place. Risk off, increasingly looking to the downside. Hopefully we see some stabilization soon. Thanks, everybody. Great to see you all. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your weekend. See you tomorrow morning. Happy trading.